In the summer of 1587, 3 English ships pushed through the roaring Atlantic waves, carrying a fragile dream across the ocean. On board were 115 men, women and children, ordinary people with extraordinary hopes. After weeks of storms, hunger, and sleepless nights, a faint line of land appeared on the horizon. As the ships drew near, passengers clutched the rails, staring at the dense forests rising like a wall of green. The air smelled of salt, pine, and something unknown, something untamed. Mothers held their children tighter. Fathers whispered promises of new beginnings. For them, Roanoke Island was not just a settlement, it was a future, a chance to plant the flag of England in the new world and to start lives free from the struggles of home. The land was beautiful, but beauty hides danger. The soil was stubborn, refusing to yield crops. The settlers planted corn, beans, and squash, but drought shriveled the fields. At night, the forest came alive. Owls screeched from the treetops, wolves howled in the distance, and unseen eyes seemed to watch from the shadows. Inside their crude wooden huts, the settlers whispered prayers, the flickering firelight casting long, trembling shadows on the walls. Children laughed by day, playing along the sandy shores, collecting seashells. But even their laughter was sometimes silenced by hunger or by the uneasy glances of adults who wondered whether they had made a terrible mistake. The settlers were not alone. Local tribes watched them closely. Some approached with curiosity and kindness, offering food, tobacco, and guidance. Brief exchanges of trust flickered like fragile flames, but other encounters turned tense. Rumors spread of warriors moving in the forests at night. One evening, deep drumbeats echoed through the darkness. The settlers froze. Mothers clutched their children. Men gripped spears, and the sound of the drums grew louder, then faded again into the trees, leaving behind a silence heavier than the beat itself. The settlers realized they were strangers in a land that was not theirs, surrounded by people who might welcome them one day and turn against them the next. In the face of drought, hunger, and fear, Governor John White made a desperate choice. He would return to England for supplies. On the beach, he promised the settlers he would come back quickly. Families clung to him, begging him not to go, but there was no choice. Without food and tools, survival was impossible. White's ships sailed away as women waved, children cried, and the horizon swallowed their last hope. The settlers remained behind, staring at the empty sea, waiting for the day sails would return. But White never came back, not for months, not even for a year. England had gone to war with Spain, and every ship was needed. 3 years passed, 3 endless years of waiting. Each morning, settlers climbed to the shore, scanning the horizon, searching for the faint outline of sails. Each evening, they gathered by the fire, whispering prayers, trying to keep hope alive. But as food dwindled, as friendships with local tribes strained, as children cried from hunger, hope slowly crumbled. What was once a colony of dreams became a place of shadows, of whispers, of despair. When John White finally returned in 1590, the island was silent. The huts had collapsed. Weeds swallowed the fields. There were no voices, no bodies, not even graves. And then, on a single tree, he found one word carved deep into the wood: Croatoan. It was the name of a nearby island, a place the settlers might have fled to. But storms forced White's ship back, preventing him from reaching it. He never saw the settlers again. Their fate was sealed in silence. Centuries later, the mystery remains. Did the settlers merge with native tribes? Did disease or famine wipe them out? Or was there something darker? Something that left no trace at all? Travelers spoke of strange lights flickering in the forests of Roanoke. Some claimed to hear faint voices in the wind, as if children still laughed and cried among the trees. To some, it is just history. To others, it is a haunting, a ghost colony, forever lost, yet never gone. The Lost Colony of Roanoke is more than a story. It is a wound in history, a question with no answer. All that remains is a word carved into wood and a silence that has lasted for centuries. Perhaps one day the truth will be revealed, or perhaps Roanoke is destined to remain what it has always been, a whisper in the dark, a mystery that will never fade. Deep in the heart of Central America lies a vast green jungle. Birds scream from the canopy, monkeys leap through the branches, and the thick air feels heavy, ancient, eternal. Beneath this jungle, half hidden by vines and moss, stand the remains of an empire that once ruled these lands, the Maya. They built towering stone pyramids that scraped the skies, temples decorated with intricate carvings, and sprawling cities that housed tens of thousands. Their knowledge of astronomy rivaled anything in Europe. Their calendars predicted eclipses with astonishing precision. Their hieroglyphs, carved in endless rows of stone, told stories of kings, gods, and blood. And yet, between the 8th and 9th centuries, the vibrant voices of these cities fell silent. The plazas emptied. The jungle claimed what was once alive. What happened to them remains one of the greatest mysteries in history. To imagine their disappearance, we must first imagine their lives. At sunrise, the city awoke to the smell of incense, drifting from temple altars. Priests in feathered headdresses climbed the steps of the pyramids, raising their arms to the gods as the sun broke over the horizon. In the markets, traders shouted over one another, exchanging cacao beans, the currency of the day, for obsidian blades, jade ornaments, or brilliant red feathers. Children ran through the narrow streets, their laughter echoing off stone walls. In the fields beyond the city, farmers bent low, planting maize, the lifeblood of the Maya. Every stalk of corn was sacred. Every harvest was a gift of survival. Life seemed ordered, thriving, eternal. But beneath the surface, unseen cracks were forming. Archaeologists believe that for nearly 600 years, the Maya thrived, but nothing lasts forever. Evidence shows that in the 8th and 9th centuries, rains stopped. Long, punishing droughts struck the land. Reservoirs dried up. Fields once bursting with maize turned to dust. Hunger spread. Families abandoned their homes in search of food. The great plazas, once filled with celebrations, became eerily silent. Meanwhile, rival cities turned against one another. Wars raged between kingdoms. Armies clashed, leaving burned villages and shattered monuments in their wake. The once united Maya became fractured, each city fighting for survival. And then one by one, the great cities emptied. Temples that had been alive with chants fell into silence. Ball courts where crowds once gathered were abandoned to weeds and stone. Historians point to many reasons for this collapse: famine, war, disease, even political breakdown. Some believe the Maya overused their land, cutting down forests until the soil could no longer sustain them. Others whisper of darker reasons: plagues that struck down thousands, or mass uprisings against rulers who demanded blood sacrifices. A few even believe the gods themselves turned away, leaving their people to vanish into history. Yet the Maya did not disappear entirely. Millions of their descendants still live in Central America today, speak in Mayan languages, and carrying traditions that survived centuries of silence. But the cities, the great cities, remain abandoned, swallowed by the jungle. Two stories, worlds apart, yet strangely connected. One small colony on the edge of the New World, and one vast empire in the heart of the jungle. Both vanished, leaving behind questions that echo through time. The Lost Colony of Roanoke, the lost civilization of the Maya. One carved a single word on a tree, the other left behind endless ruins of stone. And still, we ask the same question. Where did they go?